Easy team. Can you hear me? Fuck's sake, don't start fucking moaning about the sound, because fucking I'll get enough whinging at home, don't I? Without fucking having whinged on YouTube and all. So hopefully you can hear me now. And yeah, so this one's just, I'm just catching up really. I done a blog the weekend and everyone started whinging about it. So I took it off. It was pretty poor, to be fair. It was, I didn't have my mic on, did I? It wouldn't fit with a case, and I couldn't be asked to take the case off and all the rest of it, and suffered the consequences, didn't I? And the light's gone off, so I'm just going to keep going for it, innit? You don't need to see me. You can hear me now, can't you? My van's an absolute fucking shithole. There's boots, empty fucking milk bottles, fucking a rogue open fucking spod. It needs tidying. It's fucking dumping here. So anyway, following on from my last blog, I'm gonna have to turn the fucking light on, aren't I? Because you whinge at me. I'm fucking bright as fuck. So following on from my last blog, I've got my spooner hat on. Forgot my glasses though. So following on from my last blog, where I managed to whip a little one out the edge, my first fish of the year. The very next day, I decided to get the car out, because I hadn't been out for about 3 or 4 months, and the sun was out, and I thought, you know what better way to whip down Charlie's in the car, take some TikTok snaps and some TikTok videos, and then while I'm at it, bang some bait in a few places. You'll have to bear with me with the sound on this, all right? I apologise now, but anyway, this is what happened.
Are you ready for it?
Yep. I actually prefer it in black. Yep. Looks like we're walking. I mean, yeah, it's to be expected really. Let's be an idiot and drive down a fucking track with a fucking splitter that's 3 inches from the floor. But never mind. We're going to pop some bait in this one and let him get on with it. There's the bait in that one. She good. Put a bit in there. Fish in there can fucking eat. They're like fucking hungry hippos at times. That bait deployed, and me back to no socks again, twice in a week. And what I've noticed is that the water is still fucking freezing. I noticed on Monday when I popped that in, I was up to my knees in it on Monday, and by the time I just popped a bit of bait in, my legs were fucking frozen. Like I could really feel it. Although I was just up to my ankles in that one, yeah, that's really cold still. So all that's warm out here and all lovely and all the rest of it, the water's still fucking freezing. Anyway, Detective Keith again, because I'm a bit like that. I know no one's been down and fished Orchard, or not in a car anyway, since I've last been a couple of weeks ago. And I'll tell you why. You see this? This is my tread pan on my van. Outside wall, inner, outside wall, and they're still there, all the way down. Now, unless someone else has got a custom with 21s on it, with Bridgestones or whatever the fuck they are, then no one's been down here since me, which is good, isn't it? That's all good news. Anyway, there's that. I'm going to get them back to the car now, and I guess I'll just catch up when I see you next. I don't know when I'm fishing next. Could be Friday, Saturday, could be next week, could be the week after. But I'm going to drop down and keep dribbling a bit of bait in when I can. But for now, that's me, and I'll see you when I see you. By the next day, the boy wanted to go fishing, but he didn't want to go camping fishing, Daddy. No, I want to go the biscuit fishing. He wants to go to biscuit fishing. I was like, okay. And the biscuit fishing is basically round the corner, there's a little plot water. And if he's quiet, the owner gives him biscuits. So that's biscuit fishing. So we went, done a bit of biscuit fishing, excuse me, down Howe End. There's a few lakes there, but we just fished the first one. It's just a little canal. It's obviously a man-made canal, or would be man-made when it being a canal. But anyway, it's a canal. I'll say that again. And it's full of little silvers. There's no carp in it. It's just roach, rudge, roach, fucking rudge. I mean, what is a rudge? Roach, rudd, perch, eyed. Oh, there's golden tench in it, some little barbel in it, and some other little small silvers. And anyway, this is how he got on. All right, Reg? All right? What are you doing?
Fishing.
How'd you catch fish?
We wait and figures under. Caught one.
Oh yeah, you got a bite. Not quite caught one, but yeah. Yeah.
Caught one maybe.
Got a bite, mate. Got a bite, mate. Got one. Oh, and it's making the clutch go. It must be a big one. All right, let me get the net. Bring it in, buddy. Where's he gone?
Still there.
Lift him up. There you go, he's in.
Yes.
There you go.
Look at him. It's a little one.
It's a little one, look. It's a little fishy.
Nice. Pull it in, please.
Yeah, you can put it in. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. But they'll be long. There you go, be careful. There's something interested in it. Not yet. Not yet, that was you. Go on then. Got it?
Yeah. Oh.
Cool, you got a big one.
Oh.
Got a big one there, Red. Hang on, I'll get it in the net for you. It's fucking stuck. Here, over here, mate. Over here, buddy. Pull it over here. You bet you've beached it. That's it, well done.
Oh.
Well done, mate. Hang on. There's your fishy. What you got, Reg?
A fish.
So that's the first time that I've given him the rod, and you do it all, mate. Obviously, I'll put the maggots on. You do it all. That's the first time he caught 6 fish that morning, or in that hour. He only lasts about an hour and starts turning into a bit of a jerk. Do you know what I mean? But he had 6 fish. He had 2 roach, 2 rudd, and 2 eyed. And then he wanted to go park, so he packed it all up, went to park, and then we went to McDonald's. And he had McDonald's. He had a good Saturday. And then later on Saturday night, I decided to drop back down Charlie's, jump in one of the swims. It was dark by the time I got down here. I had to follow the diversion. It was long, but we managed to get the rods out and for the night. And then just before first light, I was awoken by the sweet sound and melody of a blackbird in the canopy above. Fucking noisy bastard. And then 5 minutes later, the sweet sound of my right-hand rod fucking tearing into one. So we jumped out, we got him in, and anyway, this is what it was. Alright guys, she was a bit fucking lively. She's calmed down a bit now. Don't make me look like an idiot. She's calmed down a little bit now, so here she is. What do you reckon of that one? She's about 16 pounds, 17 pounds, something like that. She's quite chunky. But no, I made up with that one. That's a lovely morning wake up call, as they say. I mean, I hate that cliche, but it is. So there she is. Right, that was a smile for the camera, for a still shot, by the way. I'm going to get her back, so let's get you back, mate. Happy days. So back down Charlie's tonight. There's no one here tonight. It's Tuesday. It's fucking freezing, mind. I got down here while it was light tonight. Managed to get the rods out first, obviously. Just ran down there, plopped them out, got them where I wanted them. They all went out, you know, without any hang-ups or anything like that. 10 baits over each rig. Job done. They're down the bottom fishing. So I just thought I'd pop back up here, catch up, and that's about where we're at, really. So that's it. I'll leave it there, and hopefully I'll be getting back to you at some point with some action in it. It's a proper quiet one tonight, guys. Other than that fucking burner. But, yeah, the weekend I had a few indications that there were fish kicking about. Sort of randomly through the evening. But not tonight. It's fucking dead still, so perhaps they've chumped what I fucking left them on Sunday morning. They've done the off, but we'll see. I just thought I'd show you guys what I bring, yeah, on a quick overnighter. Get down here. Morning team. Very quiet night for me last night. Nothing to report this end. It's very still, to be fair. It's spring seems to have done the off this week, and I think it's like knocked them back a bit. Because although it was a very bright night, it was a big moon last night. It was a big common moon, wasn't it? Last night, but it's very still and very cold. It was back to being middle of fucking winter, to be fair. And as a result of that, nothing really materialised, which I guess is to be expected. So whether there's they've ate the bait I put in and done the off, or it's still there, I'm not too sure at the minute. But there's definitely no fish in the swim. You can tell it's such a tight swim. If there's fish in the area, you get liners, and more often than not in that swim, if you get a few liners or you've had a few liners, you normally get a run or a chance sort of shortly after. But I'd say it was dead silent all night, so I just come to the conclusion that there's no fish in the swim. So therefore, it wasn't sort of worth me staying any longer. I mean, how long do you sit there for them to turn up? You know, if I get a few liners and what have you, sort of sunrise or really early morning or what have you, then yeah, I'll stay a few hours. But to have like nothing, it's not worth my time anyway. But I've got some drawers to make anyway today, which is fucking well long. But I need to get that done, and this really does need a tidy up. It's an absolute dump hole in the back. So yeah, I just left them to it. Top the swim up with a little bit, not a lot. So I don't know whether they've eaten it or it's still there or whatever. So I just topped it up. I didn't go mad anyway. It's not really the time of year to go mad with it, but sort of a little bit of bait can hold fish in the area for quite a long time at sort of like this time of year. But I tell you, if you get a couple of days where like last week, they can polish off quite a bit of bait as well. So especially if you get a number of fish sort of in there. But that's us really. I'm home now. I'm working from home today. Got some drawers to make. Got some see that. I'll put on my seatbelt. Got some drawers to make, some cabinets to make ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to crack on with them. Hopefully get them done by about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then tidy this van up. So that's it really. That's me, and I guess I'll catch you the weekend when I drop back in there. See you soon. Look at that. Absolute dump hole. So I decided to catch up just a little bit sooner than anticipated because I've done a new purchase. It's been no secret that I use bait boats, and I've done for many years, from the original Angling Techniques sort of tugboat bait boat, the original bait boat, the Pro Cats, the Micro Cats. I even had a HD at one point, which is, to be fair, is a really good boat, the Micro Cat HD. But they sort of got left behind tech wise. Echo Sounder and things like that were a bit lacking. The old Fulcrum designs were great when they first come out back in the day, but they tend to have clung on to them. And they just got left behind. And nowadays, I know that Angling Technics have been, I don't know whether they've been taken over or joined with someone. Something's happened at Angling Technics, and they're getting them all up to date, which is fantastic for that brand, because bait boat wise, I mean, I've had probably 6 or 7 different Angling Technics bait boats over the past 20 years, and they've all been absolutely spot on. Never had any bother with any bait boat from Angling Technics. I've had a few others from various brands which weren't too good. At one stage, I had a Euro Viper, which was just the biggest boat in the history of the world. It was far too big. I sort of bit off more than I could chew with that one. I didn't have that very long. And then for the past sort of 8 years, I've been using the X boat, the Toslon X boat, which again has been absolutely fantastic. And over the 8 years that I've owned it or been using them, I've never had any problems with the boat itself. A couple of little bits, sort of fatigue, like the aerials, basically just fatiguing. I've had to replace the aerials, battery terminals, and sort of, bits that take wear. But the boat and the Echo Sounder and everything else have been absolutely spot on. And love an X boat. But over the last winter or whatever, it must be said, because it's a beast. With the bag, it's a big old lump. And over last winter, I found the X boat a bit of a chore, to get out the cupboard, take the batteries out, charge them, charge the Echo, and all the rest of it. And I mean, I don't know how much it weighs, but when it's all in the bag and all said and done, it weighs some. It's a bit of a workout, and I found it a bit of a chore to cart in the house and in here and back again, and to take down Charlie's and all the rest of it for a 30-yard trip out, and then basically put it back in the bag and back in the van. I know you're saying, oh, you could have just cast that and all the rest of it, and you're right, I could have done. I'm more than capable of arm that one in and casting and that. But all my fishing's done at night through the winter. I don't see the daylight at all, pretty, and that is the truth. In the middle of winter, if I'm away, if I'm there at 7 and gone by 6, I don't see the lake in the daylight. And I would rather slip a bait out in a boat, first time, nowhere it's going to go where I want it, stealthily, without, I could take half a dozen casts or whatever to get there, and if there's any fish in there, they're gone, and they'll move off, and there's no way they're coming back in the middle of winter. So that's why I tend to use a bait boat down Charlie's, and that's more through sort of stealth. Fishing, you swim, dribble it out. I mean, a great example of this, I mean, I'm banging on now, but a great example of this, when I first started fishing Charlie's, I had a Micro Cat at the time, and I pre-baited quite heavily, and I dropped back in about 3 nights later. That was in the April. I got down there, it was dark. It was one of those, it'd been baking it all day, but really cold, and I couldn't fucking see shit past my nose. I used a bait boat to drop 3 rigs over across the far margin, and I dropped the second rig, the middle rod, and the boat was just about to make it back to shore, so to speak. I'd grabbed hold of the boat, put it on the bank, and the first rod that I'd put out, which had probably been out, 10 minutes or so, was away. That was away, that was. And there's no way that if I'd have cast them rods, that wouldn't have ran. They'd have fucking done the off, wouldn't they? It must have just landed within a couple of meters of it, and without realizing, or just on its way or whatever. But and that was a fish called G Unit. That was a big old fat common. And then the same night I had another fish off the same sort of area called the Apple, which was another sort of named fish. And yeah, they're both those were bait boat caught fish, so to speak. It's not really caught properly, is it really? But we don't mind, do we? Need all the help I can get in the winter. Anyway, so as I say, the Toslon has been a bit of a chore. It's a bit of a lump. So I wanted something a little bit smaller. Just something. I don't need a massive fucking boat for Charlie's, because they're only short trips. So I was skanking through eBay and I come across one of these. Now this is the Ridge Monkey Hunter 750. I think that's what it's called. I managed to get it really cheap on eBay. As you can see, it's used. I haven't used it yet. And one thing I did notice about it straight away was how light it is and how small it is. It's 2.5 kilograms with the batteries in this little thing. It's absolutely weighs nothing. I mean, you could almost squeeze it in your barra fucking organizer, couldn't you? Sneak it out in the middle of the night on those bait boat band waters. I mean, not that I'd do such a thing. It has crossed my mind though. But yeah, it's this tiny little thing. So anyway, I'm gonna just pop the batteries in and whatever, because the batteries are here. Comes with 2 of these little things. I mean, I guess those are to pull the battery out once it's in the boat. And what is noticeable is the Type C to charge it. So you can charge it on the bank off a power pack or something. I mean, I've even got a power pack here. I can put a Type C. This is I'll charge my phone through here, so I could charge it actually in the van, which is really cool. And the handset is just a one-handed sort of remote, I guess. There's no big blocky remote, so I'm just going to pop the batteries in. It's the first time I've looked at this boat, and see what happens. So that's with the batteries in. So I guess the next thing to do is just turn it on, I guess. So when the lights flickered on, there's a voltage meter on the bottom. It says 12.3. I'm not too sure what the voltage of the batteries are, so I couldn't tell you whether that's actually a good voltage or not at the minute. But I mean, I guess so. How do we turn this on? That's the on button. Okay, so that's the remote on, I guess. Just drop into 11. Yeah, I think the batteries need charging, but it's still working. What's that one? Oh, that's lights. Turns the lights on and off. So there's 3 buttons and a joystick. That's all it is. You've got lights on and off, and I guess that's and the hopper, and that's it. So how does the hopper go back up? All right, there's just a little. All right, okay. So it's just a release there, just inside the boat. You press it and it drops through, and you just press it in and pull the hopper back up. But I mean, that's saying that's 1 kilo there. I mean, I mean, it depends what it is, doesn't it? If it's 1 kilo of foam, it's not fucking fitting in there, is it? 1 kilo of lead, swallowing it. And I take it that. Right, so that's a top loader. So you pull the bar over, pop your rig in, pull the bar back, and then middle button to drop the hopper. That's my finger, my thumb's in the way. I mean, so as far as it goes, we're all working how it should do. So I think there's 3 different versions of this now. This is just a standard bait boat. You can get ones in yellow and all, can't you, which are high vis, and you can get the ones with the echo sounder in them as well. Me personally, I've got a deeper. Again, that's no secret. I use a deeper now and then. You can get a bait boat deeper mount for these, which I've got one on the way, and I shall just use this with a deeper. It's a lot easier than having a separate something else in it, another handset. So I shall just use that with the deeper. So I shall take them batteries in, charge, and then I guess on whenever I go, I shall take it with me and test it out. I mean, the swim I'm fishing or baiting, I've never used a bait boat in there. There's really no need because they're literally underarm chucks. But I guess for this blog, I'll use it. I mean, I'm not going to be dropping a lot of bait, and I guess I need to make sure that it runs properly, goes straight. So I will use it for demonstration purposes, won't I? But as far as it goes, initial, I don't know, what's the word for it? Initial impressions. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've got this for 300 quid, second hand. It comes with, obviously with 2 batteries, the handset, a bag, a charger. I mean, it's an absolute fucking bargain, isn't it? I mean, I can't really compare it to the X boat. We all know what they're like. I mean, the X boat's obviously fucking far superior, isn't it, in every way. But I think if this works, as it should, it's not too sluggish or whatever. I think that's an absolute bargain. A second-hand 750, definitely. But we'll see the weekend or whenever I'm out. So anyway, I just thought I wanted to show you that one, just to put a bit more content in the blog, innit? But yeah, that is the Ridge Monkey Hunter 750 bait boat. Easy team. I've got a whisper, but hopefully with the mic on you can still hear me. But it's about 7:20 Friday night. I've already got 2 rigs out. I'm just going to go through the third one with you. So I used a little boat, and I'm actually really impressed with this little boat. It's proper silent and proper nimble. Yeah. Obviously the swim's fucking tiny, so I wouldn't know what happened if you got a chop on the water, but for slipper in a little rig out in little tight swims, this thing is ideal. You can hardly hear it go out. So yeah, so I mounted it deeper to it and had a little look, and the swim's exactly as I thought it would be. To be fair, but I thought it'd be rude not to put the deeper on. So I'll just go through what I've been putting in it. So this is all I've been using, like literally just boilie crumb that I crumbed earlier, and that's just literally boilie crumb. And the reason being, it's just that there's a bit of attraction there with no food. And then I shall put 4 or 5 of the powdered and glugged baits over the top. So there's literally 5 baits in with that boilie crumb. So fundamentally, there's loads of silvers in here and all the rest of it. Fundamentally, there's sort of 5 baits around my rig. That's it. And the rig in question, my normal go-to rig, which is a little 15mm pop-up Carp Spirit medium curve Ronnie fluorocarbon boom onto a lead clip onto the reverse pair that I've been using, and then just a bit of tubing, and all I've done is fleckered the tubing with marker pen, and that's it. So, and the beauty of this little boat, because it's a top loader, you can do it all in the bivvy, just like that. Because it's a top loader, you haven't obviously got to open the hopper, so you can put your bait in and all the rest of it, then dribble it down to the swim and pop it in. No foam. I'm not bothering with foam this weather, just in case it decides to cling on, in the cold weather, and it can sort of cling on all night. So I don't tend to sort of bother with the foam just yet. But that's ready to go out. So I'm going to pop this one out. I'll see you in a bit. I had to don the specs. I had to charge the mic, and I couldn't see the fucking port. I was talking to the missus earlier about, because I've done the rigs earlier in the kitchen, and the way I build rigs now, it's like it's more muscle memory, habit, and repetition. How I can make the rigs, literally, because I can't fucking see what I'm doing. It's just literally fucking muscle memory and fucking repetition how I can put these fucking rigs together. So yeah, I just had to put the specs on because it's obviously proper fucking dark tonight. There's a big old moon though. Again, big old moon's out, but it's proper still. So the jury's out tonight. This is going to be a tough one, guys. But there's 3 rigs out. There's not a lot of bait. when I put some bait in the week, I put a bit in the edge that I could look, because the water's died, so it makes it really awkward to see. But at the night time, if you shine the head torch in the edge, obviously you can see the bottom. You can't see the bottom in the daytime. So I dropped some bait in the edge, a couple of handfuls, where no one would be able to see it, if you know what I mean, in the day. But via head torch at night, it'd be like Hansel and Gretel's fucking pebbles. You'd be able to see them, and they're gone. So I would imagine that the rest of it is gone if they're gone. So there's not a lot of bait out there. Trying to get them into the habit of coming down and having a nibble. So you never know. But yeah, the swim's proper sodden down there. I bivvied up down there in the week, and it just fucking stank of dead leaves, and it weren't very pleasant. So I'm perched up here again up the steps tonight, where I was the week before. It's pretty cool. So I feel like a hawk, you know. Got this little fucking nest up here, right up out. I can see everything. Well, in the daytime I can see everything because he fuck all night. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one tonight, guys. But got to be in it, win it, and yeah. So we're about an hour in, something like that. I've had a couple of knocks on the red, which is the left-hand rod, which is literally right in front of me, and one knock on the middle rod, which is just over to sort of like a little tiny sort of reed line over there. And I've had one knock on there, but I did notice there's quite a lot of silvers kicking about, and I fished the lines pretty slack. You know, I fish them with a tight clutch, but quite a lot of slack. So if I do get a run, normally I can sort of plough over the top of the lines, because obviously it's tight. But I don't particularly want to fish back leads. I'm not too keen on them when it's weed about and shit. But not less abundance of weed, but there is a bit in the edge, and you only need a fucking back lead to cling onto a bit of that and cause all sorts of problems. But because they're so close, you know, the furthest one's fucking 3 wraps, isn't it? 4 wraps, perhaps the furthest one. Do you know what I mean? 5. I'll give it 5 wraps. Is it? What's 5 wraps? Fucking 4, 8, 12, fucking 16, fucking 20 yards. Yeah, I'll give it 20 yards. 5 wraps, the longest one. But yeah, I just fish them really slack. I just poke the fucking nose of the rod in, sort of to the bottom, and then just pull the rod back up and onto the rest. So they're out of the way if I do get, especially the left hand one, because they always tear right. There's fucking no point in fucking tearing left. There's no water there. In fact, I probably had, I don't know, perhaps 35, 40 fish from this swim, and one has gone left. The rest have all teared off towards the rest of the lake. So yeah, if you fish like nice and slack, they can just bugger off over the top of the middle rod, and the right hand ones just sort of dribble down the edge, so that don't normally a problem anyway, because I just sort of net the fish over the line. It's fine. So, but I think the boat may have helped, you know, because what I did notice that in the weekend is that it's so quiet when there's no wind or anything, you know. It's like fucking hell. I'm walking down the track, but I'm walking down the path and down the steps, and you've got all the old sticks. Oh, fucking hell, it's proper noisy. And the middle rod, I weren't happy with it, you know. The middle rod I cast twice in a week. The other 2 went out first time, but it's like you're having a big dump in the middle of a fucking hole. You can imagine that. Do you know what I mean? There's a toilet full of water. Your ass is about fucking 6 foot from the fucking water in a hole. Yeah? Imagine that. That's what that fucking lead sounded like when I fucking underarmed it in a week. It's like, fucking hell. So I'm hoping slippering them out with a boat, you know, because literally you just with a little remote and it's dead silent. The hopper's quite loud. The release, the that's quite loud to be fair, but the boat itself, you can drive it dead silent. You know what I mean? If you're careful. I noticed if you bang a hard left or a hard right, you have a bit of a turbulence in the water, very similar to the X boat. But if you're gentle, you can slipper it about without any noise whatsoever. So, but anyway, that's about where we're at. Anyway, I'm banging on now. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I shall report if anything happens. Well, what do they say? Big moon, big what? Yep. Come check this one out, guys. We're at. That's a fucking lad. Anyway, I'm going to sort the camera stuff out and catch up with you. Good effort. I was literally drifting off. I was watching a film and I fucking fell asleep. I was away. And so was my fucking middle rod. And this is our prize for a bit of fucking persistence over the last couple of weeks. She actually looked fucking massive in the net, but it's actually not that big. But he's big enough. He's alright. He's a good 20. Fucking one of Charlie's commons. Fucking lovely. I like the fucking mouth on it. Good effort. Absolute belt away. Great stuff. Alright, let's get him back. There he goes. Looking good lad. Well, team, that's what we come for, innit? And that is a Charlie's Common. That's what they're like. There's loads in here like that. Around that size, sort of 20-pound, low 20s. There's a few bigger, you know. There's a few. Well, there's one at 30 fucking free, 35 pound probably now. Frank. But as Charlie's Commons go, there's loads in here like that, about that size, and I'm happy with him. He's tidy fish, absolutely fucking scale perfect, big old fucking mouth. Went like a fucking steam train. I knew it was half decent. You can tell because you can't turn them straight away. But no, well chuffed with that. I'll put the rods back out. I've left one out. The rig's spent. I can't be bothered to do anymore. I've got 2 rigs. So what I've done is I've just moved them around slightly. I put one back out where I caught the fish from, and then another one just sort of half a rod length of this side of it. So they're 2 sort of over in that vicinity now, not dead in front of me. Thinking when I'm fishing 2 rods, it's pointless having 2 rods across the far margin, because if they're coming down from this side, they're obviously going to pick up that one, and this one's probably rendered useless. So I've just moved that over a little bit, so the 2 rods are fishing a bit more effective. And that's it really. It's about 12 o'clock now. I've got to get gone by about 8, so you never know, plenty of time. I know there's a lot, put the lights on with the blogging and that's hardly ideal, but it is what it is. If I want to show you guys, I've got to put the lights on down there, but I don't know. I think there might be a chance in the morning. There's enough time anyway. You know, if I'd have had that fish at 4 in the morning, fucking forget it. But I think there's enough time to settle down. A couple more come back up, you never know. So fingers crossed we get another chance in the morning. team. We fucking had all the weathers this morning. It was really cold last night. The sun, beautiful sunrise. Sun come out and then it started raining and we had a rainbow and all the rest of it. Proper spring-like weather, but it's really cold. And to be fair, I weren't actually that warm last night. I don't know whether it is because I sort of got up. I had to get up obviously at midnight, and I don't know. I just couldn't get proper warm as I normally am. And I mean, I wasn't cold. I just weren't comfortable, if that makes sense. I had a chill down the back last night, and I reckon maybe because I've been on a diet, I haven't been eating much over the last month or so. And last night I only had an omelette before I come out, and a couple of packets of crisps, and ain't gonna do you much good, is it? So perhaps it's because I didn't eat enough. Perhaps, I don't know. But no, I got cold last night. When I put the fish back, it dropped pretty hard. It dead still, and as a consequence, the rods remained silent for the rest of the night and into the morning. But I've had no indications to tell me that they've come back at all. No bubbles, no liners or anything. So I think they just sort of done the off, and the temperature dropped and it's knocked them back again. That's what happens. I just slow up, so they could be sat somewhere waiting for the morning sun, I guess. But nevertheless, I'm happy we had a result, and it's when I've been going every week since fucking November. I suffered my fair share of fucking blanks over that, yeah, as you all know, and to have sort of free fish in a couple of weeks from different lakes, and two from one from the Gem and a couple from here, is things are on the up now, aren't they? They've got to be. But obviously the break last week and the weather's obviously helped, and next week it's looking warmer again. So I think we're on the up now, guys. I think another couple of weeks, and don't get me wrong, it's still going to be cold. You have the frosty winter nights, but the heat in the day overrides the cold nights from my experience anyway. So we're on the up now, guys. Thank God for that. But yeah, as far as the Ridge Monkey boat goes, obviously it's my maiden voyage for me, wasn't it? And that performed as it should, and more than happy with that. I think if you're after a little boat for a little intimate water, up to, I don't know, 2-3 acres, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want to take it out in a chop. There's just no weight to it. I certainly wouldn't take it out sort of 100 yards like I would the Toslon. I probably wouldn't be able to see it, would I? But I think if you're after a little boat for a little water, I don't think you'd go far wrong with one of these. A second-hand one, anyway. That's the deeper look. That's the deeper mount you can get on eBay. You just pop the handle off, unscrew it, obviously, and screw that on. There's a little cord as a safety back, which just ties onto the deeper. And then they've got a little absorption now, I guess, for when it's flapping through the water or you're loading it up with bait, and it's small enough you can just leave it by your bed and you're not tripping over it. So I'm happy with that. That was a good purchase, and I keep saying it, but perhaps it was something I should have bought a little while ago. The only thing is now is I've fished this for 8 years without a boat. I'm not going to want to fish it without fucking dribbling the boat out, because I'm certainly, like I said earlier in the blog, I think it's probably helped matters not making a load of noise, and that's why I love the boats. It's just dribble it out and sneak up on them, because they're fucking sneaky enough, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They take the piss out of us all the time. So in my book, if you can use it, fucking use them. I don't care. Bait, boat, fish, cast, caught fish. At the end of the day, we're here to catch fish, and if that helps, so be it. I'm not. The only thing I'm a little bit sceptical about is drones. In my eyes, that's taking it a bit too far. But then, having said that, If you're fishing a massive fucking water that's 100 acres, how are you going to walk around that and see them? You know, big public water. That's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Get the fucking drone up. Why wouldn't you? I guess. So, I guess things are tech and that are suited to, you know, the session and where you're fishing. I guess, I don't know. You would certainly wouldn't put a drone up at Charlie's to look at fucking 20 fucking foot of water, would you? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's about me. I think had a cracking fish. But in my eyes, it's a cracking fish. You know, she's about 22 pound. I give that one. It's quite chunky, but it looked massive. But I think in another couple of months, it's that's a 25 pounder. You know what I mean? But this time of year, she's about 22. I've had enough 22s to know that. But yeah, well happy with that fish. And I'm happy with that fish. I mean, the fish down here isn't that big. That's 20, 25 pound is it's about an average fish sort of. There's smaller, there's bigger. But don't get me wrong, we all love the big ones. It's all about the massive ones. I love a fucking big one. Who don't? But I think in this day and age, carp angling's as popular as it fucking ever is, isn't it? And I think down Charlie's, I've been down here a long time. I've never stayed on the water as long as this. I mean, obviously I used to run it years ago, so it's kind of special to me anyway, But I think the way the lake's set up and the way the lake's run, there's not many members. You've got your own bit of water to fish. You ain't looking at anyone, and I think it's peaceful. You can come down here. You don't have to talk to anyone. No one gets the arse if you fucking ignore them or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I could go and talk to a mate. It'd be perfectly fine. But, they wouldn't steam in and start shouting their mouth off. They don't know the crack with Charlies. And I think that makes up for it. I've been there, done that, chasing big carp, and you're running before other anglers, I mean, it'd be the same down Kempston, I'd imagine. You can see all the lake. There's 35 swims on the lake. You could get half a dozen, 8 anglers on it. The fish start showing somewhere. Every fucker's moving, aren't they, to that area of the lake, and I can't be doing with that. That'd do my fucking head in. I'm at that stage of life where I just want to be fucking left alone. Do you know what I mean? So I was actually thinking about Kempston, whether I'm going to rejoin or not. I went down there most of the winter, a couple of months in the winter, didn't I? Had the place to myself, which is lovely. But I think when it starts to get busier, I'm not going to like it. I'm a bit of a recluse in that way. Do you know what I mean? But and the road is so fucking noisy. So yeah, the jury's out on Kempston, where I'm going to rejoin. I wouldn't mind getting on the resi again and keeping that for a winter water, because that's better suited for the winter. There's fucking loads of fish in it. It's 4 acres, something like that. I've got more chance of catching a fish through in the winter down the resi. I think that's the way I'm going to go. I think I'm going to not bother joining Kempston and join the local club, so I can get on the resi over the winter. It's peaceful. There's no fucking road. But anyway, I'm banging on. Anyway, guys, I'm going to give it half an hour or so. I'm going to get this stuff packed up, get it back in the van, give the rods half an hour and do the off. Got to get back. My daughter's got taekwondo this morning, hasn't she? And I'm banging on. That's fucking 9 minutes of this, and you're probably well bored by now. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, it's been an absolute joy. Even more joyful with a couple of fish in the blog. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Nice one, guys. Easy team. You thought it was finished, didn't you? So did I, to be fair. Fucking hell. 2 seconds. So did I. I thought it was finished. So I had the opportunity to fish 2 nights. And obviously last night I had a cracking common, which I was over the moon about. And I weren't going to fish tonight. behave yourself. I weren't going to fish tonight, and so I banged a lot of bait in before I went, right? Not far too much to fish tonight over, if that makes sense. It was supposed to, the plan is to drop back on Tuesday night. So I put, I put a wee bit in to last them a couple of days. And I was going to dribble back Tuesday. Anyway, I was at home and I wasn't going to come. And then I sort of sat on the sofa, it's about 5:30 or whatever. And the missus put I don't know, fucking what it was on the telly, and I was like, oh, I don't know what it was. It lasted literally about 3 minutes, and I was like, right, I'm off. And decided to come back down. So I've got the dog, Jessie's here. And the plan was just to have a fucking chilled out session anywhere on Charlie's. Obviously the toilet swim is proper uncomfortable. Up and down the fucking steps in it in the middle of the night, and I've got no room at all. It's literally just enough for my bed. So I thought I'd jump in Kev's. It's not far from the toilet. It's a couple of swims down. It's a little trot. It's about 60 yards, but it's 2 swims down. It's about 60 yards away from toilet. So I decided to jump in Kev's because it's really easy to Kev's. It's like the back of the van's just there. There's an abundance of room. As you can see, I've got the RS Brolly. I've got loads of room. I've got the burner on. I've got the kettle on. It's comfortable. Jessie's down there in her bed. There's loads of room. And so, I mean, I'm going to be brutally fucking honest with you. I had 3 rigs in my rig wallet from the last session, which I took off when I replaced them for the session just gone, if that makes sense. And they're still sharp. They were from the previous session where I blanked, because I always change the rigs, and those were those 3 rigs that I changed from the blank session. And so I just whipped some new boilies on them, stuck them in that little boat with exactly the same as what I put out in the toilet last night. A little bit of crumb, 6 or 7 boilies or whatever it was, and I just put one to my right, one dead out front, and one to the left, across the far margin, about a rod length off, something like that. They're out by about 6:30, so sort of just getting dark. Lovely old job, all sorted. And to be quite honest with you, it's fucking freezing, isn't it? The phone's got no fucking internet in Kev's, so I was like, fucking, this is a bit boring. So he had some coffee. Well, I had some coffee and some crisps, and Jessie had some doggy biscuits, and I went to bed. I was like, fuck this, because I'm spent from last night. I was like, fuck it, I'll go to bed. It was about 8 o'clock before, oh, fuck, I'll go to bed. I'll get up early. Well, fuck me. It was fucking 9:15. The left-hand rod decided to fucking disappear down towards the fucking toilet. So I jumped out. Fucking Jessie jumped out as well, still wrapped in her blanket, which was fucking well funny. I was just, what's happening? Anyway, I couldn't be bothered to take a video. I just, it's so long. This is supposed to be like a chilled out session without any filming or whatever. And anyway, it turned out to be just under sort of £23, a lovely fucking mint mirror. I was fucking over the moon with that one. I slipped him back and just left the other 2 rods fishing. I was like, fuck it, that'll do me. So I left the other 2 rods fishing. I was then wide awake. So I've been watching this thing on Netflix, which I've downloaded, called 1882, so like Cowboys, whatever. So I watched a bit of that, and I could feel myself drifting. So I turned it off, and well, fuck me, 12:15, fucking right hand rod's fucking tearing off fucking down there, innit? So I grabbed hold of that, we got him in. It was just a little stocky. I didn't even bother getting him out of the net. I just unhooked him in the net. It was about £10, something like that. The net was stuck to the fucking floor. Right, it's that cold out there. It was stuck to the fucking floor. I sort of yank it off the fucking floor to get this fucking fish in. So I just unhooked him and let him go. left one rod fishing, didn't it? And I was like, oh, I can't fucking leave one rod, can I? So I checked the rig, and it was they're both spent. I was like, oh, fucking hell. So anyway, I made 2 new rigs, and I've got the 2 rods back out, one over there, and one dead out in front of me. So we're back in play, and it's my phone's there. What a fucking idiot. And it's about 1 o'clock in the morning now, and I've got a coffee because I'm fucking freezing. I've got the fucking big guns out, and I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. So I've got a gardener carp duvet that I use in the fan. The kids use it in the fan. And it's the fucking bollocks, this thing. Because again, I'm in this bag. It's a Nash sleep system. I've had ages. Never normally a problem, me getting warm in that bed, but for some reason, last couple of days I've been struggling to get warm in it. So I brought out the fucking big guns. The carp duvet's on top of the sleep system, so I'm going to be well toasty if I don't get fucking awoken again at some point. I don't know what's fucking got into them. It's -2 out there. The van's solid. Everything's fucking solid. The stars are out. It's dead still. -2, and they're having it. So fucking unbelievable. The mind boggles, doesn't it? I put so much effort in the other swim to get the result, and then I put little to next to no effort in this one. I mean, still a lot of effort, but another couple of fish. It just proves the point of you need to be where they are, guys. You need to be where them fish are. Anyway, I'm banging on. I'll anything else to report, I'll get back to you. Morning team. As you can tell, another really cold one tonight. Is this thing working? Yeah, it should be. Another really cold one tonight. What are you up to? What are you doing? I was actually worried about Jess last night, being really cold, but she's got a coat on, haven't you? Yeah, that'd get your attention, wouldn't it? She's got a coat on, and she's got a quilt and a big bed. So she loves a bit of fishing, don't you, mate? She just comes and sits there watching. And yeah, she watches out the door. What's happening? A bit like Daddy does. Sits in his bivvy fucking watching nothing happen. Or most of the time anyway. But no, I think last night was I was really fortunate, you know. I sat at home thinking, in amongst all those blanks, you keep going. It's incredibly hard for me to see where the fish are when I'm turning up in the dark, obviously. But if you keep going, sooner or later you're going to land on the fish, right? If you keep going, like the law of averages say that sooner or later you're gonna set up somewhere and there's going to be fish in front of you. Surely, if you do the whole winter. And I think last night was just an example of that. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, it's not really often that I pick my swim unless I've obviously put a bit of bait in. But when I'm going solo, you know, just ad hoc into a swim, I like to have a walk round and you know and see if I can see something and what have you. I don't sort of like pick a swim, but last night, because I was feeling a bit spent and I weren't going to be doing a video, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to jump in Kev's if it's free and just have a chilled out evening. Because obviously it's really easy. The van's just there and there's loads of room. You ain't got to put boots on or anything, and you know the water's 2 inches from the front of the swim. It's really easy. Do you know what I mean? And also I could take the dog as well because I've got loads of room. And what's that? She loves a biscuit. What dog don't? Although you're down to your last fucking few. I don't like sitting in here eating and she's looking like, and you know, having my crisps. So she has her little biscuits, don't you, mate? Don't want to feed her up full of crisps. Not the best, is it? But yeah. But no, I think really fortunate, yeah, last night to have them 2 fish. You know, I set my stall out. I was coming in here if it was free, put 3 rods out, and it was one of them. If they ran, they ran. If not, I weren't really that bothered. You know, it's better than watching fucking, what did you watch? Fucking Silent Witness or fucking something that was on the telly. And yeah, just have a peaceful, chilled out evening sort of thing, and to have a run at fucking 9:15, which blew my mind. It's like fucking hell. But I guess it's a different swim, this one. You know, I'm fishing a lot more water. My rods are about 50 yards, 60 yards apart. Boom, boom, boom. Had a fish off the left hand one. It's not going to affect the right hand one at all whatsoever. And as a consequence, the right hand one went. So it's one of them, innit? But I mean, this is the swim I first fished in when I joined all them years ago. Apparently, it was a little fish swim. That's what he told me. Yeah, catch a few out of this swim, but they're normally little. I'm like, fucking what the fuck? Whatever. It didn't look like this. It's a bit. None of them looked like this. When I took over, we had a couple of work parties, and they were really tired. The swims, they're like really, really. Some of them are borderline and dangerous sort of thing. And we revamped them all, made them all a lot more comfortable. And then Phil, when he took over a few years ago, he got the digger in and really fucking sorted them out. Do you know what I mean? And now they're pucker. Really good. But yeah, he said, "No, get some fish up here, but they're only little." I was like, fucking whatever. So I thumped a load of fucking offcuts I got off eBay. You know, the mainline offcuts, you can get them for about £3 a kilo then, these offcuts. And I fucking thumped fucking loads in over the period of a couple of weeks, about 20 kilos in, because there's no one fishing here. It's just the fucking owners fishing the point and suicide. The rest of there's about fucking 15 members. It was fucking mental. And so I was like, well, fuck it. If no one's fishing, I'm going to pump it in. So I pumped it in here over a period of a couple of weeks, and yeah, dropped back on it and fished it. And that's when I had them 2 fish, and then a flurry of other fish on sessions afterwards. You know, and then it did sort of dry up. The fish sort of tend to move around the lake through the summer. And I do prefer it in other places, don't they? But because sort of not normally always old sort of fish anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think if you don't catch in Kevs, you're not catching fucking anywhere. It's just one of them. There's always fish moving up and down that far margin. I mean, I've tried the near margin. I've tried middle. Fuck all. It's weird, isn't it? It's always been far margin. I guess that's where everyone fishes. So that's where the bait goes. Must be, because you know. But yeah, I'm just not in any rush. I'm just fucking hanging out, and we go. I've had to put the big suit on. I've got the lot on. I'm fucking freezing here. So yeah, the Carp duvet performed well last night. It took me about half an hour or so to get warm, but once I was warm, that was pucker. Really good bags these. I bought it second hand off a mate. It used it once, and it's just too big for his bed, and I can understand why, because it's fucking massive. Do you know what I mean? This thing, it's really big. I mean, I'm not the smallest, the biggest of people. Obviously, I didn't get in my suit. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, there's 1.5 foot above my head, and it's fucking about 1 metre wide. I can see why it's too big for his bed. But and I just bought it for the kids in the van, but I should probably fucking use it if it's going to be like this again. But so yeah, just hanging it out really. Have a coffee, and I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking it's hardly unlikely for a bite, but then it was fucking last night, wasn't it? And the night before, so fuck it. You never know, that might fucking go. Who knows? Fishing about That's a bit weird, wasn't it? That's a mic malfunction. The mic went flat, so I was watching it back and I was like, oh, my mouth. And then I realised, yeah, the mic went flat, so I had to charge it. But I can't even remember what I was saying, because obviously I can't hear it, but I think I was saying that I'm fishing about 40, 30 yards out. It's not too far. I haven't had any liners all night since I put the fish back, but then I didn't have any liners previously. So yeah, it could happen. Who knows? But yeah, I think last night, as I was saying, was just an example of jumping in. Luckily, there's a few fish in front of you. You know, in the winter, it needs to happen like that. You know, if you're just going to jump in swims, because they're not going to come to you. In the summer, it's a bit different because they're moving about. You know, you can be the worst angler in the fucking world. You know, like me. Well, not the world, but you know what I mean. You don't have to be the best angler. That's what I'll say. You don't have to be the best angler to catch fish in the summer, because you can set up where they're not. Do you know what I mean? And if you're sitting there for a prolonged amount of time, sooner or later you're going to get fish come over you, which obviously going to give you a chance. But in the winter, you need to be on them. It's as simple as that. That's why it's a struggle. And obviously the periods they feed at in the winter may only be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, you know. And if you're not on them, you've missed it. But if you are on them, you may get a couple of fish in that half an hour. So, and that's what makes the best from the rest. And I'm obviously part of the rest. That fish just rolled just to my right hand side. It's like the first fish I've seen roll since September. But that's about me. I think I'm going to leave him to it. It's about 9 o'clock now. I'm going to pack this lot up and get going. So obviously, if anything happens in that time, I'll get back to you. But as from now, I'm packing up and we're getting off. So if you've made it this far, then I proper salute you, because there's a lot of banging on and a lot of dribble going on in this blog. So I apologise for that. But from me and Jess, no, thanks for watching, guys. A joy as always. See you on the next one.